Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a beautiful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. And I just want to take the time to say how proud I am of the Black community. Now, this is in reference to the Latino woman who made the awful video that went viral and how Black Americans responded to it. Now, she didn't mean for her video to become public. She had put that on her private account, and somebody who is a friend of hers made it public because the public needed to see that. Just like white people are not a monolith, just like Black people are not a monolith. White people, after a while, will tell on other white people when they are mean like this. And this is a white, I'm sure she's passing for white Latino, talking about it reminded her when she was in the Marines. And everybody is saying that she was too comfortable doing this because she thought that she was going to be protected. But I have to remind you that she was saying this to what she thought was her friends. And one of her friends or one of her social media friends exposed the post to the public. And she did the right thing because, again, we needed to know this about her because she is a policewoman. Well, she was a police person, and police people can ruin your life and take it too. So we needed to know that. But now, back to the Black community. We have seen this movie before. We have seen people go off on these rants about Black people. We don't know why we're on these people's minds and in these people's mouths. But for whatever reason, when they ought to be with their family or with their children or with their friends or at church, they're talking about Black people. So it makes you wonder, what is it about us that won't let people rest? That just for what they just feel like they have to say something about us. Now, I would be concerned about myself if I was talking about somebody like that. But Black people handled it the right way. So I took it on myself to ask the co-pilot, how did Black people know to stand on business like this nationwide? Because everybody was talking about it. And Black people stood on business. And this is what the co-pilot said. Many Black Americans weren't surprised because the kind of racism Ashley Gonzalez displayed fits into long-standing familiar patterns we've seen, and I'm saying we, because I'm talking about all of us, we've seen in workplaces, schools, and everyday life. The reaction wasn't about her specifically, it was about recognizing a behavior that has shown up repeatedly across generations. So white people have really kind of dulled us to the idea of being surprised by it because white people have broken us in, whether we admit it or not. White people broke us in. So all these other people, they're just doing what white people have done, and they just look like clowns. This woman looks like a clown, but she's a dangerous clown. This woman is a menace to society. And Black people recognized that, and Black people acted on it. But why the lack of surprise? Well, it's historical patterns of discrimination. Black communities have dealt with racism in the United States for centuries. Like I said, they broke us in. Not just overt hostility, but subtle bias and unequal treatment. When something fits a pattern that's been experienced repeatedly, it stops feeling shocking and starts feeling predictable. Our lived experience teaches people what to expect. Many Black Americans grow up hearing stories from parents, grandparents, and peers about unfair treatment at work, biased assumptions, and people revealing prejudiced beliefs when they feel comfortable. So when someone behaves in a racist manner, it often feels like confirmation, nothing to see here. So it's not time to get upset, it's time to deal with it. A lot of racism happens quietly. Comments said behind closed doors. She's been dealing with people who are saying things like what she said behind closed doors. She's a white Hispanic, and she's a dumb white Hispanic. So she said it out loud. A lot of this racism happens quietly. Comments said behind closed doors, microaggressions, coded language, and unequal standards. When a situation becomes public, many Black people think this is what we've been saying happens all the time. And it is. It happens all the time. Most people have sense enough not to put it on social media. She's just a dumb, white passing Hispanic. And a lot of the dumb white policemen do that. They'll have all kinds of social media stuff and all kinds of stuff that gets leaked to the public. It's always going to get leaked by another white person because Black people don't have access to those accounts. So it's the people that they're talking to that they think they're safe, and the people are not safe because the people themselves are decent and they know that you aren't decent and that you shouldn't be serving the public. It's just that simple. So the Black community holds people accountable these days by organizing. Black people organize quickly, publicly, and collectively using activism, media pressure, and community networks to demand consequences for racist behavior. So the days of whining about it and saying, oh, that's just how they treat us, or why does everybody hate us, and all that, those days are over. Those days are over. Now it's time to hold people accountable. She should not be working in a city that's 25% Black when she's holding these racist ideas about Black people. She needs to be working with people that she respects. So she needs to move north of Texas. She needs to move to Utah or Idaho or some of these states that don't have many Black people where she's not going to come into contact with many Black people. That's where she needs to be working. See, she needs to be working up in Montana and Utah and Idaho with these white people who don't want to pay for driver's license, who don't want to pay for taxes, and who don't want the government in their business at all. That's her crowd because they know how to handle her. They know how to handle her. So that's where she needs to be, not around Black people that she holds animosity toward who hasn't done anything to her. Those activists in Houston said they're going to follow her track record to make sure she's not working in a place where she's coming into contact with a lot of Black people, since now we know how she feels about Black people. Like I said, the days of feeling sorry for yourself and feeling bad about being Black and wondering why these people don't like us when we haven't done anything to them, those days are over. This is the time for accountability. So Donald Trump brought that out too, I think, in Black people. Because if he's going to be ugly, then everybody else is going to be ugly too. And that includes Black people, evidently. Now, America has its brand of racism. There's no question about that. But these Hispanics who want to be white, these people have racism in their own countries, and they bring that racism with them. So white people aren't always responsible for their racism. They have their own racism. Now, the whole world system of white supremacy might be responsible for it, but they bring that racism with them. That's what the Afro Latinos say. But these Latinos are the worst. But I am proud of the Black community because Black people did not shrink, Black people did not fall back, and Black people didn't say, oh, why are they doing this to me? It's like, we want her gone. We want her fired. And it's like, she should have been fired based on the video. It shouldn't have been even in an investigation. So the people of Houston said they fired her as soon as it was legally possible. Maybe they were talking about her due process. I don't know. But that video told us who she is. So it shouldn't have taken all that investigation. But they got rid of her soon enough when they found out that the people of Houston were ready to take them on. The Latinos, Hispanics, or whatever they call themselves, they don't have a strong enough position in the United States to take on Black people, and that ought to remain the case. I am really proud that Black people handled this the way it should be handled. Way to go, Black people! Thank you for listening and have a good day.